right, welcome to Dead Letter Emissions, where we talk about underground music, horror films, and tonight we have a good amount of people on the show. Maggie, Jeremy, as usual, Stacy, who was on the first podcast, or I don't even know if we recorded that. And then we have Will from MetalHeads podcast, as well as Atlas Brewery, and the guest of honor tonight, Graham. And Graham, I don't know your last name. I can Brooks. I am sorry.
Yeah. No, it's cool. My last name is Brooks.
Oh, that's Brooks? Yeah, Brooks.
All right. Well,
Brooks.
all right.
Plural.
Sorry about that, man.
Yeah.
Well, Graham Brooks from the amazing band Barishi. And we're actually going to go through our, I don't know, are we going to do the top 40 and kind of just run through the first 20?
I don't know. I thought we were just doing the top 20. What do you want to do?
All right. Yeah, we'll do 20. And, well, I'm not going to make you do that again. I know you just spent, was it really 7 hours?
Are you asking, did I just spend about 7 hours on MetalHeads podcast going through my top 25 albums of 2020?
Only 25, and it was 7 hours.
Oh my God. Well, there's 6 of us, and we had no guests this time, but yeah, it usually, I think we started at 1 o'clock and it ended, it was probably 6.5. I mean, you know, people have to go pee and fill up their beer and, you know, feed their cats. You know, I have kids who, you know, need attention and stuff. But yeah, I've podcasted a good 7 hours today already.
Oh my God.
I am surprisingly still quasi sober, but I plan on fixing that. I just poured myself like a big giant.
Yeah, Steven was on, when he was on your guys' show, I thought it was going to be like an hour or, you know.
Oh, no.
It was like 4.5 hours. I was like,
Yeah.
and then he's like, the podcast came out, listen to this. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Much to my chagrin, I've tried to keep everybody to about an hour, and they've completely embraced the long form. But anyway, blah 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 blah. Dead letter emissions.
No, yeah, I gotcha.
You know?
And Graham, once things open up, you know, I'm sure Will would love to have you guys over at their brewery. They host a lot of shows. I think, what was it, 2 years ago, or was it last year before this all happened? You kind of had the pre-decibel, like the kickoff.
Well, Barishi has played Atlas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
We had a
there you go.
Small world.
fun show there. Yeah, I really like that place.
Yeah. God, once we get into this and I start talking about my Steve asked me, I think I'm hoping Steve asked me on this for a reason, but you guys actually played Atlas for your last album, and I think Mary from Shadowwoods booked you guys, and I was not there. So I am the director of heavy metal operations at Atlas Brewworks, and you guys played there. I used to be my official title is I'm brewer emeritus and director of heavy metal operations. I used to be one of the lead brewers there, and I had to go. Once my son was born, I got 2 kids. Once my son was born, I had to leave brewing because brewing was costing way more money than childcare was. So I went back to a government job. Blah 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 blah. But unfortunately, when you guys played, probably 2 years ago, and when Mary booked you guys, I was not there, and I am fucking kicking myself now that I was not there, because I literally today I just bought your previous album on vinyl, and I don't know what's the plan tonight. Are we going through like some big top 40 list or something?
Well, yeah, we're gonna do the top 20. Well, like I said, you don't have to do that again. If you want, you could join in, but you know, really just, you know, getting to know Graham and learn a little bit about what you guys are doing currently. And start out, Graham, how would you describe Barishi to someone that's never heard him?
Yeah, I don't know. It's always so tough. I know it's like it's definitely a cliche, but to say, but it's kind of it's hard to describe like your own sound, because like I get lost in the minutia of like writing this stuff, and I kind of sometimes I'll think that we have like a completely different sound or approach than we actually do, because I'm just kind of hyper focused on certain elements of it. But I guess maybe kind of like sludgy progressive death metal. I don't know, with like some blackened stuff going on. It's all the vocals are not melodic. It's all kind of growls or screaming. There's no Bruce Dickinson howls of passion going on, unfortunately.
Graham, on this one, are you singing now on this one?
I sang Old Smoke, if you can call it singing. It's me, squeaking and burping and puking.
But you were not singing on the previous one. You had somebody different, correct?
Yeah, we had a singer who left like maybe a year after we came out with that record, and then we had a few different people kind of filling the void. So I think when we played at Atlas, we had someone else singing for us, and then I took the reins over maybe in like 2018 or something, or 2019. It all kind of blurs together, but yeah.
So on Blood from the Lion's Mouth, you were not singing, but I was not singing, but you are the main singer on Old Smoke.
Yep.
The newest album.
Yeah. That's all me singing, for better or worse.
Be it that you excuse me, you have 3 guitar players and a bass player on. How was that transition as far as singing? Do you feel like when you're writing a verse or a chorus, you're gonna maybe simplify those parts and kind of have more bridges and things to kind of
well I was the only guitar player for a long time. We added another guitar player in just recently, who we did like half a tour with him. He's in a bunch of other bands. So the tour we did with him kind of ended up on the books a little later, and so he had to take off and do some other tours. So it's like we're used to just being like a trio, with me singing, and there's a bassist and a drummer. In terms of like changing the formula for the the band to work with singing and playing guitar, I guess if anything it really kind of opened things up, because it's pretty weird like to have someone who's just a designated singer and then kind of throw long instrumental passages at them and be like, okay, we're gonna like riff for 5 minutes and you can like fuck off to the side of the stage.
just keep rocking out however you do that.
Yeah, I mean, and like
what does Bruce Dickinson do during those time periods?
Yeah, I mean, I
can't solo.
I think the thing when you're Bruce Dickinson and you're as charismatic as that, he can he has catwalks to explore. He's got
flags and costume changes.
Flags, he's got costumes. Like I know a guy who saw them like in '82, opening for Priest on the Screaming for Vengeance tour, and he said that Bruce like climbed up into the lights and was like bashing out lights during some long, during the solos of Hallowed Be Thy Name or something. So it's like, when you got that much spunk, you can do whatever you want, But
so are you therefore putting the kibosh on the bass player and the drummer? Like any long solos, like no, not fucking happening.
Oh, I mean, I say go for it, because I'm, now that I'm playing guitar and singing, like I don't have to, pull shapes and do air kicks and stuff. I can just noodle, and then it doesn't matter, And then like when I remember to walk over to the mic and kind of grunt in time. So yeah, it's I guess it's maybe afforded a little bit more freedom into the equation, having me doing the vocals and the guitar, and then not just having a designated singer.
Yeah, we talked for a while the other day. So we'll get into what you're listening to currently, but since the last album, you're singing on this, where there's some like primary influences that you wanted to, because you're a great guitar player, man. I was, for
Thanks.
being doom and just a hybrid of all sorts of like amphetamine reptile means black metal and death metal. Like you ripped some ridiculous solos out of nowhere.
Thanks.
It was, and you guys are more on the prog side of things. I could tell you're trying to be more expansive every time you put an album out. Was there something you're listening to this time around where you're like, maybe a band, you're thinking about how they write songs and trying to implement that maybe a little more?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't really know how much it shines through, but like when we were writing this record, I was listening to a ton of Yob, and for like the long form stuff, there are very few bands for me where it's like you can throw on, a 10 or 15-minute song and have it be like really engrossing the whole way through. And Yob is one of those bands. So I don't know. I was listening to them a lot. I know we're like kind of have a very different sound than them, and so I know it's a weird translation into what we've got going on. But I'd say in terms of where the longer structures come from, having a band like Yob probably is a pretty pretty influential group in that respect. Like the drummer of the band, Dylan, and I, like, when we were kids, we all went to high school together. So like, I'd say our musical tastes evolved, kind of at the same rate, and experienced the same things together. And like, so like when we were kids, like, we were really into like Opeth and Mastodon and stuff. And so obviously that just kind of rubbed off, to into our DNA. Mastodon, when we were kids, we went to like this podunk high school, like in the middle of nowhere. Like even for Vermont, it's like the middle of nowhere, which is saying something. And Mastodon came to like 3 towns over to play like a free show for like in the middle of winter for like a snowboarding contest.
What
And
album
so
was
like,
that?
what is it? That was like when Blood Mountain came out.
Gotcha.
And so like, yeah, it's fun. Like I just remember like everyone in our high school went to go see Mastodon for free, and like very few people had ever seen like a metal show, and it was sick. I think it churned the waters a little bit, got the blood pumping, so yeah, I don't
How
know.
old are you guys?
How old are we now, or I'm sorry,
How old were you then?
Oh, I don't know. Pretty young. I'm bad at math. Maybe like 13 or 14, something like that.
Yeah. Rebellious age.
Yeah. It was a pivotal moment, I'd say. And then they came back, I don't know, a few years ago, and we played with them, which was cool, which was kind of a full circle dream come true. I'm sorry, what's that?
You played with Mastodon?
Yeah, we played direct support for Mastodon a couple of years ago.
Wow, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Your bands.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like it's funny. They were touring with Judas Priest, and I remember like seeing their touring schedule, and it was like a month of like Mastodon, Judas Priest, Mastodon, Judas Priest, Mastodon, Judas Priest, and then Mastodon, Barishi, then back to Mastodon, Judas Priest, and I was like, made me feel like I was in a much more important band than I actually am. So that's
that's
nice little treat.
So are you? It seemed like this year just doing a top 40 was ridiculous because I think I started out with like 500 albums and just kept breaking it down, and everybody is there's so much music this year for obvious reasons. Everyone's been quarantining. Has it been easier for you guys to write, or are you getting a little more digital with it and sending files back and forth? Or
yeah, we've met up a couple times. We haven't really been writing anything new. We recorded a couple covers for like a digital fest that's coming up that CT from Wake, like the Arkansas Wake.
right.
Not the Calgary Wake.
Not the Calgary, the R Wake. He's putting together. So we did a couple things for that, and then I've been writing, but it's like just on my own. I haven't actually shown any of the guys any of the stuff yet, and I'm kind of a caveman when it comes to technology. So I'm like, probably doing a really inefficient job moving, drums around on like GarageBand, trying to make something that resembles the song. But I'm having fun.
I hear you, man. I spent all this money on like plugins and really nice monitors and screens, and I'm
hey like Steve, know you need to invest in a mic for Maggie.
Oh, is my microphone too? My microphone too.
Oh, she's got one. She just doesn't use it.
Can you hear it okay, or should we turn that up?
Is she talking? No, I can't hear you.
I'm usually loud as fuck. You guys really can't hear me.
No, you're definitely more muted than Steve.
Oh, fuck you, Steven.
It came in loud and clear when she said that. Try swearing at Steve again. Try.
Yeah, just be critical of your husband. We can hear it just fine.
Stacy, I can hear.
Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah, just
iPhone headphone.
Stacy, where are you at?
Is that better?
Within my apartment, or like what city am I located in?
What city, state, country?
Mars. I am in Chicago, in Edgewater, to be specific, which is like is almost as north in Chicago as you can go, and we're actually right on the lake as well.
Okay. How about you, Jeremy? Where are you at?
I'm only 15 minutes from Steve. We're like
next
town over, pretty much.
Yeah, the three of us actually. We went to I think we've known each other since 13.
Yeah.
It was junior high.
We went to the same junior high, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you, Stacy, and Jeremy, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in Alexandria, Virginia, right outside Washington, D.C. I think Steve knows, and Graham, if he's been to Atlas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't wait, man, to plan a trip and go hang out.
Oh, you got to come down. We've stepped up our game quite a bit, and Graham, I don't know. It's what a fucked up year it's been, but we've stepped up our game. I don't exactly remember when you guys played at Atlas in DC, but we have a proper stage now. We have you guys probably played when we had like the proper real house sound system with a mixing board and everything. I'm hopefully you guys played when we had all that.
You know,
We used
this
to have
is-
just pallets. Like there was a time period,
Yeah.
like for a long time period, we just had like a double stack can pallets on the floor, and then yeah.
yeah,
what's-
I don't remember pallets. I don't know if there was a stage, but I was thoroughly impressed. I remember really, really enjoying that show. And I know that this might sound sacrilegious. I'm not a beer drinker. But
Right.
I
Can you
was
shut his mic off now?
yeah.
you
um
said you're
I
a
was-
whiskey dude. Right?
yeah, I like whiskey
Cheers.
a lot. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Everyone else in the band are big beer fans. They all loved it. I thought it was a super cool operation. I really, really like Mary. So that was
Mary is great.
yeah, that was a really fun time. And I remember there being tacos there.
Oh, Fred the taco guy. I don't. Yeah, it's going to be weird. Well, yeah. So Fred the taco guy makes great tacos, but I mean, we haven't had a show in about a year now, and it's going to be. And we have a new. So we have a new taproom manager. Taco guy is gone, as far as I know. We do. We used to have a distillery right above us, Joseph Egg Magnus. If you're a whiskey guy, they were literally you could walk up a secret stairway and go up there and get whiskey from them, but they got bought out and they're shut down. So it's kind of weird now. Like it's going to be interesting once we all get the vaccine and start back up again.
Yeah.
But I want you guys to come back.
Yeah, I want to come back. I
Yeah.
want to come. That's like an area of the states that I think I've been to like the least. You know, it's kind of like around the DC area, and I really dig it down there. Like every time we've played there, we've played like Shadow Woods, and then the winter variant we played at Atlas, and I don't know. It seems like there's a real special thing going on, and like vibe wise, everyone's really, really cool, and everyone's, you know, really into it, and a lot of really cool bands. Yeah, like you're probably you know, the Ilsa guys.
Oh
right?
yeah. Yep. Oh no, I
Yeah.
know those guys well. In fact, we just had our year-end podcast, and Ilsa's new album Prior just
Mhm.
came out on Relapse, and that made my list. Just so great. But Ilsa's one of those bands that I've probably seen more than any other band because they're the nicest human beings on earth. They play Atlas all the time. I've booked them when I book other shows at other breweries. And so I've booked at Adroit Theory, their anniversary show, and I booked Ilsa there, and they play, and it's like I've just seen Ilsa so many times, and the new album Prior is so great.
Yeah, totally.
They're just great guys. Their
For
only
sure.
issue is they have 6 members in the bands, 3 guitar players. They are such a large band at this point that they can't really fit on our stage. So they play on the floor a lot of times.
Nice. There you go, guerrilla style.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny.
Were you guys? Oh, wait, were you guys planning a tour, or were after the album came out, or like who was going out with you?
Us?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, we had a couple. I can't even remember at this point. We did a tour that like finished up, I think in like early March or something, like just in the nick of time before everything closed down, and we were like, I think we had a couple kind of bigger tours, like as a support band that we were like in the pipeline with, like our agent was trying to, you know, get us to weasel on there, and one of those was looking like it was bearing fruit, but yeah, I can't remember. And we had a tour, or like a little run with this band called Come to Grief, who is like Terry and Chuck from Grief, and
Oh, the original Grief.
yeah, they're I'm not sure like with is Grief still going in some iteration? Like it might be like the one of the other dudes or something. I don't know. I only know Terry and Chuck
I'm
who were
not
in the
sure.
band. But they have this band
Maybe.
called Come to Grief, named after the Grief album, and they're out of New Hampshire and kind of the in like Maine, and they're sick. They if you're they kind of share a common thread with like Ilsa or Indian. They're like super
Okay.
heavy, super killer sludge, and so I think we were doing like maybe a week with them or something, and that got the axe. But yeah, it's kind of hard to keep track of all the stuff that fell through.
Oh, Indian. That's a Chicago band. I actually had a practice space right next to them. Like it was my band and their band, and dude, they're so loud. I thought I was loud. Like it was like a like any quiet part. Indian was louder than we were. You know, I play a 100-watt Marshall JCM 800. I don't know what they had going on, but
You're always a loud guy. You're always a loud band.
yeah, no, they did it, man. They tackled it.
That's awesome.
Everybody hated you in the practice days. You guys are the loud guys.
Yeah, but once everything starts coming together, our band's kind of taken the time to kind of plan tours now, or potential tours, or maybe kind of get a lineup together that's gonna. Because I think what's gonna happen is it's gonna be like everybody wants to go out like as soon as you can. So it's gonna be Saturday night might have like every venue with the big show, and
Yeah.
I'm curious. I just kind of want to know
Yeah.
what your thoughts are on that.
I mean, not that like I'm the most, keyed in person into like the industry or whatever. So, I mean, take this with a heavy grain of salt, but like, just from the people who I've been talking to, it kind of seems like the venues that are, most likely going to stay are kind of like, the House of Blues-esque places where it's like, they're an institution, they have enough, money in the bank account to keep the doors open, but it's like, a relatively small percentage of bands can like play the House of Blues and have that be, a viable place to play. And then I think there are a lot of, venues that are kind of smaller that might have a harder time staying open. So, I mean, I kind of, it's tough. Like I kind of anticipate maybe more of a DIY ethic with like touring, at least for the next few years, in terms of bands that aren't big enough to sell out the House of Blues or support bands that are big enough to sell out the House of Blues.
We actually talked about this last time that we had a podcast about
we grew up at the Fireside Ball, which was kind of like Chicago's version of the CBGBs.
Mm-hmm.
It's $5 shows every night, and you'd sell merch, but a whole $5 went to the band. I'm sure with inflation, it'd be more than that.
Yeah.
But I think, Will's model, like having a brewery that is sustainable without live music, might be, the way the future looks. Like you guys can support yourself, canning, bottling beer, and you have your own product. So that's just, I mean, it seems like more of just Will, correct me if I'm wrong, but like a love for metal and supporting these types of bands.
That's exactly what it is. We're a brewery first and foremost. Our job is to make and produce beer. And if when the pandemic hit and you were not packaging your product in a bottle or a can, you're kind of fucked. Because if you were just kegging your beer and assuming that it was going to be sold in a bar or restaurant, then you're hosed. And there's a couple of breweries that are going to go under that I know of in the DC area. That they may have been on their way of going under, but COVID just pushed them over the top. You have to be able to can your beer, bottle your beer, put it in a supermarket, because, like, for example, weirdly enough, so I live in Alexandria, Virginia. I'm right on that borderline of DC. Like, I'm closer to Washington Monument and the White House than, like 70% of the people who actually live in Washington, DC. I'm in the boundary that used to be DC until Virginia annexed it. My point being is that it's all super close to Washington, DC. But the difference is you cross the Rubicon, which is the Potomac River, and you're actually in Alexandria, Virginia, Northern Virginia, Arlington, Alexandria. 70% of your beer sales are from a retailer, which is you're buying them in a supermarket. Because in Virginia, you can buy beer in a supermarket. So you're going to Safeway, you're going to Giant, you're going to whatever your Whole Foods, whatever your supermarket is, and that's where you're buying your beer. In Washington, D.C., though, it's completely opposite, where 70% of the beer sales is on tap in a bar. So if you're a brewery that was relying on beer sales on tap in a keg, and this pandemic hit and all those bars closed down, you are fucked.
You're gone, yeah.
So luckily, Atlas, we can our beer. We bottle some of the bigger beers, but we can our beer. So and weirdly enough, we opened up a second location right at Nationals Park where the Washington Nationals play, thinking, okay, I mean, we're literally on the center field gate. We're right there, and it's a baseball themed sort of brew pub. We're brewing beer. I mean, they're making pizza there, which is absolutely fucking phenomenal pizza, but there's no baseball. So it's like you don't have the traffic there. So we're hurting a little bit. I don't want to say hurting, but people are still showing up. I still go to the brew pub, with my daughter who's 9, and we like sit, chill out. I drink beer. She eats pizza. But just to get sorry, I'm like digressing massively, and no one's interrupted. Somebody should interrupt me and like shut the fuck up, dude. I was waiting
to interrupt you. Actually, want to interrupt you. So
interrupt me, please, man.
Are there like dry counties around here?
No.
All right, so you can't sell beer in a supermarket though?
No. So it's not county by county. In Maryland, it goes by county, and Maryland's like a whole fucking weird place. The People's Republic of Maryland is just weird. But no, Virginia is you can buy beer and wine in grocery stores, but you can't the state stores, the ABC stores, the alcohol beverage consortium, I don't know, whatever ABC stands for, but you can't. So California, you can buy liquor in a grocery store, but in Virginia, you have to go to the state store. I grew up in Pennsylvania, so Pennsylvania's the same way. Anyway, long story short, way too late is that Atlas is doing fine because we can our beer and we sell it out to realtors. Yeah.
Well, it's like I'm in business sales, and prior to COVID, my job was pretty much to drive around Illinois and find new businesses that were coming in and work with them. You can literally go to what would have been an up and coming area, maybe outside the city, and you can just count like empty doors. Like I found a place that was within a half a mile. There was 27 empty, and this is before COVID. I mean, there's got to be, maybe a point of interest for people to come back and start their own businesses and use those places. At least you're going to get some rent, or maybe it could be like a percentage deal, or, and this is definitely like, now I sit in my basement, I sit here, I work. I do the podcast, hang out with the kids. But
wait, Maggie has like copulated with you and had kids with you?
It's hard to believe. but just
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's an ongoing trial.
I fucked him.
Yeah, we won't we won't talk about it.
Totally don't.
You have children, right?
Yeah.
There's someone
Yeah,
alive.
she says they're mine. I don't
There's
know.
a few fuck girlfriends.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but yeah, I mean,
We
there's
will not speak of
definitely
that again.
yeah, yeah, but there's going to be like
Yeah,
shit
but
that's
you
available.
get it.
Like you can't have entire neighborhoods with nobody in. You know, to Stacy's point, like there's no money to be made, and maybe that'll be an opportunity after the COVID thing happens, where people can have little startups or open a donut shop or whatever, and maybe there'll be kind of a ramp up in rent. Hey, you start with $300, you guys do good, you got a few months, we'll raise it, but it's better than nothing happening. So
No,
so we'll see it, and hopefully some of that's venues, because I mean I think the demand for shows is going to be people
God, I
want to
can't
get out,
wait.
man.
Oh, I think it's
I'm
going to be
dying.
once the vaccine like kicks in and everyone and things open up. I think we're going to have at Atlas. We're going to have a show like 3 times a week. It's going to be insane. Everyone's going to go on tour. All the albums that came out. Everyone's going to be like, we need to go out and support this album, and it may be something. And they may be playing like music, like, oh, we have a new album coming out. They're playing that music, but it's like they're going to be, yeah, it's going to be insane. But Graham, do you is there a local venue or something that is in Vermont or New Hampshire? My dad lives in New Hampshire. My sister lives in Maine. I'm very familiar with the north.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is there a local venue that's like your venue? I know you guys did a live stream in a church, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah,
Oh.
that place is badass. It's this like massive, kind of gothic stone church, and like a few years ago, the crucifix steeple, got struck by lightning and fell off, and
Amazing.
so yeah, I mean that's an ominous sign of metal to come. But
Is that where you did the live stream in that church?
yeah, we did. Yeah, so it's this local dude took it over and like put in a sound system, and it's just
So it's not
It's
a church
only a venue.
anymore. It's a venue.
not a church at all. Yeah, just a sick venue, and it's it's like Brattleboro. I mean, it's a super small town. In terms of the grand scheme of things, it's like maybe 10,000 people or something. Like and there's some like pretty sizable bands that come through there. Like I Hate God played
Nice.
last year, and Negative Approach, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, like tons of like pretty sick bands, and then lots of bands that maybe aren't under the heavy metal umbrella, but are still like pretty sizable, and they come and play. So it's cool. It's like it has a little, or at least it had a little vibe going, and was kind of becoming a hot spot for live music. But there's also like there's definitely a pretty big DIY scene in the area and in the town, and like a lot of different places are pretty open to doing shows. And I think Vermonters are just so starved, like to do anything that's not just like sit at home under a snowbank in front of their fireplace. Like it's crazy. Like some of these shows are like insane, like so packed, and it'll be for like a band that no one knows, and like
Awesome.
yeah, you'll be like seeing like some crust punk band, and there'll be like kind of hippies there in their 70s, and like young kids, and hillbillies, and it's like it's awesome. It's like everyone just like needs to get out of the house and see something new, and it's a pretty special place as far as live music goes. I think I haven't really experienced something quite like it elsewhere.
So are you
Oh, go ahead,
Dylan? Yeah, sorry. Are you Dylan and John all from Vermont? Do you guys all still live there? Are you born and raised there? Are you Vermonters?
we all live here. It's a little taboo of me to say, but I actually was born in Massachusetts.
What? Masshole.
I
Yes.
know.
Jesus, titty
I
fucking.
know. Yeah, I was born in Worcester.
Worcester.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Yeah, my sister lived in Worcester for like 8 years.
Did you really?
Yeah. She married a guy, and like we're driving on the street, and my ex brother-in-law would just name every house was some relative of his.
Yeah,
But,
that's kind of like the reliable disappointment in Massachusetts. You're like, it's like you're 10 years old and you piss off someone's cousin. You've like pissed off everyone's cousin because everyone's related.
well, it was cool though. I like going to because Berkeley's out there, and I
Yeah.
had a buddy that was going, and man, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. There's like apartment buildings that are like you can jump from one building to the other, which probably wasn't a good idea being as drunk as I was. But like every like like every building on the top has drum sets, and they had like Marshall stacks and like bass amps, and like people were jamming from like each building. It was like a huge,
Oh, it's so cool.
yeah, it was really cool. I just remember waking up on top of a drum set on a roof. But yeah.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah. It's I mean, there's obviously a ton of musicians around there, but
Yeah. Well, Berkeley is in Boston, so like which
it's
Worcester.
not too far though.
No, it's a stone's throw away. I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was never really. I never really spent too much time in Boston growing up. I was like, confined to the slums of Worcester.
Well, and there's so many traffic circles there. It got me so confused because I guess the roads are like the original, like,
Oh, dude.
like trails and paths that they wanted to pay homage to them. So the roads make no sense.
It's
just a
insane.
bunch of
There's like
circles.
there's this like, I don't know, I guess for lack of a better term, it is a traffic circle in Worcester, but it's like it's the most nonsensical thing. It's like famously it's like, yeah, someone had like a carriage that like, carved out like a little circle and like a path and all these other paths, and then they're just like, we should pave this and turn this into like, a major roadway called this place called Kelly Square, and it's like you can Google
I
it
know
and
exactly
try
what
to,
you're talking about.
yeah, it's like you can try to decipher what the fuck is going on, and it's totally impossible. Like I have no idea what you're supposed to do. But now I live in Vermont and it's all dirt roads. And
Yeah, you live like off a like you said, do you live on a mountain or?
Yeah, I live on a farm that's on the side of a mountain that's like that is across from Mount Snow. So we get insane amounts of snow, and
You said you got like 33 inches or something.
yeah, we got boned the other night.
That's
But
nuts.
Oh,
Boned
Yeah.
by 33 inches.
it was crazy. It's like that. I mean, that's that's pretty rare even for us, but that was brutal. That was a tough one.
Yeah, that's like that Married with Children where Anthrax got stuck in the house. Like, nobody could leave.
Oh, there you go. I haven't seen that.
Hey,
But-
how far away is Dylan and John from where you are? Like, so during COVID, the real question is, how far away are you guys from each other that you can still collaborate and still make music? Because I want more Barishi. I want more Old Smoke Barishi.
Word. Yeah.
request.
They live. Dylan lives like 20 minutes away, and then John lives in Brattleboro, so like 45 minutes away.
So you guys are pretty spread out. Like, how did you form this band? Did you form the band and you guys were all close together, and then you dispersed, or Like,
Well, in Vermont, because there are like so few people, a lot of like school districts are like super spread out. So like I live 20 minutes away from Dylan. John grew up. He didn't grow up in Brattleboro. He grew up in another town that's maybe 30 minutes away from me. And then like we all went to the same high school, which is like maybe an hour away from all of us or something like that.
so you
And
guys
so-
spend a lot of time on a bus every day.
We spent a lot of
I
time.
lived in
Yeah.
Arkansas for a while, and it was like that.
No way. Yeah.
Is it still not working?
I just want to make sure. I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, I lived in Arkansas for a while, and you could spend like up to 45 minutes to an hour on the bus. And there's like one school like an hour away, and everybody within this area just gets bused to this one little, podunk school.
So Maggie, in that hour-long bus ride in that one school, there was one boy. His name is Steve. Were you limited?
Oh no, Steven didn't live in the Ozarks.
No, fuck no.
He was a boy,
Oh,
he was no
sorry,
country
sorry.
boy.
My jokes are falling flat. I don't know.
No,
Let's
no,
go back
it's
to
good.
Barishi. Okay.
Good.
All right, so actually, I do have some questions about Barishi. I think out of everything that I read, the Great Innate video was really fucking awesome. It
Oh,
was
cool.
like a portion of this small venue kind of live show, and then with some witchcraft in the forest.
Yeah.
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 That was a fucking awesome video.
Oh,
So
cool.
I would love to hear a little bit more about that.
Well, my friend Bobby Seahack made the video, and he's a, very talented guy, but very he's not like a trained filmmaker. So I think he's a very intuitive guy, and yeah, I don't know. We just kind of wanted to put a video together, and yeah, we had like some show that was in that place was like a wine bar, and they just let us do a show because they were really cool. It has since closed, unfortunately, but
that small club that you guys are playing in.
yeah, it was like it was pretty small. It was maybe like a couple hundred square feet. And but it was sick. Yeah, I don't know. We used to have a lot of really fun, kind of wild shows there, and it was like the floor joists on that floor we were playing were like super old, like from the probably middle 1800s. And for a while, it like there were these shows that would happen where it was like it was getting pretty sketchy if like the integrity of those joists could like hold as many people as were in there. It's like it got a little questionable for a while with some of the shows that went on, but it was a lot of fun. I don't know. I miss
looked
it.
like a blast. That video was awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
The choppiness of the small venue close show type thing, and then all of the witchcraft in the forest with the fire and all that. It was incredible.
Oh,
it was
cool. Thanks.
That was a great video.
Yeah,
And
I
then,
can't.
oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I can't take credit for anything that happened in that video that's aesthetically pleasing. That was all. That was all everybody else.
Well, that's all right. It was
So
still
humble.
really badass.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
And then you had the Long Hunter that you released in September 2020. But was that on the same album as Old Smoke?
Yeah, that's from Old Smoke. That's the from the last record, and that was made by a guy who I think is in Poland. Who he like calls his his filmmaker alias is Chariot of the Black Moth. And he makes a lot of videos for like metal bands, and he makes like tour trailers and stuff like that. And
was that through the record label, or is that somebody you just hooked up with?
No, I was just like, I was asking, I was just like, he friended me on Facebook, and I was like, oh, it's that guy who makes like, those sick trailers. And I was like, yeah, man, you want to make us a video? And pretty much gave him free reign. And like, I was just like, just make it woodsy and spooky.
He
did
all of
great
that.
job.
It
Cool.
was all of that. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
He had all that like Norway dark forest stuff going on. That just it hit it on the head. It was good.
Thanks. Yeah, I saw it, for the first time in its finished form, and I was thoroughly impressed. I think he did a bang up job. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Thanks.
Yeah, we were talking on the phone the other day, and I thought it was pretty hilarious because we were talking about Norwegian bands and the badassness of like the scary aesthetic of Norwegian black metal bands. Just being like there's like Vikings, Somali, and they're burning churches and they're killing each other. But what were we talking about? Like, what would happen if they ran into the Cro-Mags? Or
yeah, I know. I mean, yeah. It's
Wow.
I feel like John Joseph would has probably a little more grit than like someone in one of those Nordic countries where it's so nice and everyone's really polite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a funny paradox of that whole black metal scene.
Yeah, it's always struck me as weird because it's like you live in a rich country. Everyone seems pretty nice.
Yeah.
Nobody really seems like they would want to hang out in the south side of Chicago, but there's this. But they aesthetically they just killed it, man. I mean, somebody Romax should have thought about burning churches, or maybe.
It's funny, like how the environmental factors influence the aesthetic overall. I guess it's not always.
It's like isolation horror. Like it's the idea of being in a forest, and it's like like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's that aesthetic of kind of being in the middle of nowhere, where things get fucking weird. But it's like all the serial killers are usually in like rural, Illinois or Wisconsin or somewhere in the Midwest.
Oh, yeah. I guess you got.
Let's not give Graham a complex. He lives in Vermont. I mean, Vermont, by definition, is in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
It's a product of boredom, I think.
Have you done a background check on John and Dylan? I mean, you're pretty sure they're not serial killers and shit.
They're such wimps. It's crazy. It's so soft. They're so soft. It's crazy how soft they are.
That's lovely.
Which one's the one with the most amazing long red hair?
That's John. I don't know if he's the softest, but he's either the softest or the second softest. And out of the three of us, I'm obviously the hardest.
There is an axe on the wall behind your head.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I got an axe and a club.
Yeah, you're the John Joseph.
What is that other thing?
It's a little war club. It's a couple of my knickknacks from my travels.
Yeah.
From your travels, where did you go? Where you picked up an axe?
Did you pick that up in New Hampshire? Like what? Like, when you say travels,
DC.
like
my travels are
Wisconsin,
like a 5 mile radius. That's like that's the amount
no,
of the world.
but like where? All right, no, but I know
Goodwill.
you're joking, but I mean,
Where-
maybe you're not joking. I don't know. Like, how hardcore is Vermont? Like, I've been to Vermont. Like, is Bernie Sanders like making a militia up there, or what the fuck's going on?
Oh, let's pray.
You know,
Right.
Oh,
Let us
it's
pray.
funny.
Please,
Everyone
God.
like everyone's Vermont exposure is always like maple syrup, Ben and
Right.
Jerry,
Ben
Bernie
and
Sanders.
Jerry's. Yeah.
And people are always like jokingly like, "Oh, you ever met Bernie Sanders?" I've met Bernie Sanders so many times. It's funny.
I'm sure you have.
When I was a kid, I was at a hunt. I don't know if this is a thing like out there, but like you have hunters' breakfasts.
No.
You know about where
What
it's
is
like
that?
it's like
Wow.
or
I was really hoping that he was going to say Bernie Sanders is into Barishi.
I
That
mean,
would be.
he's into fish.
He might be.
He's into fish. I don't think he's
He's
into
into
fish.
fish.
He's at every Barishi
Yeah.
show.
Fucking
That'd be
fish.
great.
Yeah, he like yeah. In Vermont, there are these things called hunters' breakfast, where it's like on the first day of hunting season, they'll have like a cheap breakfast of like pancakes at like the town hall, and they also do like sugar on snow dinners, where like at the town hall they'll take like snow and put maple syrup on it and give you a pickle, and it's kind of like the little community get-togethers. I once got
That's
chastised. Yeah, I gave Bernie Sanders a dirty fork, and I cleaned it with my like
Butthole?
My-
dirty
yeah, with my
Sanchez.
Your taint, your dirty taint.
Sanchez.
Please tell
That's
me.
how he
you gave
prefers
it
his
to him.
forks.
I had
Just
I had
wipe
like
it on
my-
your taint.
I had like my grimy 12-year-old like little Iron Maiden shirt on or whatever.
Oh.
And I cleaned his fork with my shirt, and Bernie chastised me. But whatever. It's
I mean,
It's
it
not
is
a-
what
it's-
it is.
I mean,
Ever
you know,
bitter.
yeah, I have no problem with that. It's fine. I mean, was he right? Yeah, he was absolutely right. Like, don't clean some fork with your nasty little shirt. But yeah, Bernie and I go back.
That's
good.
hilarious.
That's amazing.
Did you have another question?
I do. We have a lot more things to say.
Oh, yeah, we still got to do the top 20.
Oh, well, then I can.
No,
Sorry,
no,
are you guys really going to do the top 20 metal albums of this year?
Oh, it has to be
could,
metal.
you could just criticize our picks. And,
No, it's not
yeah,
about
yeah,
criticizing.
yeah.
I'm just like, I already did this for 25, so I'm just wondering how long can I stay awake?
Well, how about
Right.
Oh.
I've been drinking
5?
since all right. We started recording at 1 p.m. I'll be lying if I said I started drinking at 1 p.m. because I was drinking earlier than that. So, truth be told, and this is documented in recording, whatever, my mid-year podcast really hasn't, my mid-year list on the podcast hasn't changed. My number 2 album, my favorite number 2 album of all time this year is Barishi Old Smoke, which is exactly why Steve is like, hey, do you want to come on this podcast? And we got these guys Barishi on, and I don't have any
damn,
questions
you're
for
a
them, but
number
I think you
10.
like them, right?
Will, I am honored. I am humbled. I'm at a loss for words, man.
Dude, do not be at a loss for words. I am
I'm lost. I can't help it.
no,
Graham, you're so sweet.
I gotta get out of town.
no, but seriously, this your album, and I know you guys have played Atlas before, and Blood from the Lion's Mouth it's kind of a different album from
I
Old
hate
Smoke.
that record so much. I hate it so
Right.
much.
But
Why
but
don't
here's
you
my
like Blood
point.
of
Here's
Lion's
my
Mouth?
point.
Huh.
Wait. Actually, I have a question for you. Who's in charge of fulfilling
Oh, wait.
vinyl record sales?
What do you mean?
My point being is that earlier this morning I bought Blood from a Lion's Mouth on vinyl, black vinyl.
Mhm.
Because it was sold out. Are you going to ship it to me, or are you like, fuck this, I hate this, I'm not going to send this to you?
Oh yeah, I don't touch the vinyl, which is good because I don't wash my hands too often.
Yes.
I know, it's foul.
No wonder he didn't like you touching his fork.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, people don't like me touching things, which is smart. People are smart. People are smart. I don't wash stuff that I should wash. So yeah, what was the question?
My question is that you
I-
do not, you have nothing to do with handling vinyl from blood from a lion's mouth, but I ordered that today,
Well, thank you.
and
Thank you so much.
it's on record on my mid-year and my year-end that Old Smoke is my number 2 favorite album of the entire fucking year. I love this album. You guys remind me of like a filthier, nastier Inner Arma, and I know the guys in Inner Arma pretty well, but just I think with your vocals and kicking out the old guy, you're slightly less progressive, slightly more like in your face death, doom. I'm not even sure what it is. It's kind of hard to describe. You guys are hard to put in a box, but Old Smoke is just, to me, it hits me right in the feels. I don't know what the feels are. I'm pretty sure it involves Stacy, but it's like,
Will, you're hitting me in the feels with all this
Oh.
just unparalleled flattery. So thank you. Yeah, I think it's a good move. We kicked out the old guy because he was even filthier than me in terms of hygiene. But he's a great guy, nice guy, very talented guy. He's one of the best rollerbladers in the world. Like seriously, like
Something to
sounds
be
like
proud of.
I know, like he's like, I'm gonna fuck off from this band because it takes too much time away from my rollerblading career. And I was like, I can't argue with that.
No,
I mean, like,
it's a career.
and the thing
It's a
is,
future.
he's coming as close as humanly possible to having a viable rollerblading career. He's like won like $40 multiple times. And I'm proud of him. Yeah, I know. There's nothing to scoff at. It's more than I do.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
Once in a while, I'd be like, Sasha, baby, talk to me. Why do you not see rollerblading in the X Games anymore or in like the Olympics? And he had this like Graham Hancock-esque conspiracy theory about like big skateboard money coming into the X Games, hush deals being made in back rooms with cigar chomping monsters, just trying to rid the world of rollerblades, which are the superior mode of small wheeled transportation.
Skateboards be damned.
yeah, fuck
I
those-
know. So
Fuck those things.
That's-
What about the scooter
that's
guys?
what this guy said.
The guys on scooters that go to the skate park and they use the little razors and scoot around on the,
Those things
Yeah.
are fast.
My mechanic gave me one of those things. He gave me an electric one. I saw him and he's like Graham.
I got like 3 of them in the garage. The charger broke. My kids didn't care about them, so they're just
Oh, no
sitting
way.
there.
You know how to get it up and running? Because this one's dead and I don't know how to get it up and running.
You
but I
can
want
buy
to.
the battery, but the battery's $100, and to get a new one's $200. You know, it's
Mm.
Yeah.
they're not really into it, but I don't want to throw them away because I bought them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a conundrum.
They're into like video games. Era, again, her 9-year-old daughter.
Wait,
Is not his fucking nails.
what about those sporty people that have those bikes with like the small wheels in the front? They like lay down on them and they like pedal
Oh, yeah.
I know you're talking
out
about.
here.
Recumbent bikes?
What are they called?
Recumbent bikes.
Yes,
yes?
yeah. Stacy's right. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's
like,
as usual.
you ride one?
Of course, Stacy's right.
No,
Yeah,
I just
those look really
That's smart.
uncomfortable. Like it seems like it would be a lot of work to lay down and pedal. I mean,
I think
I don't
there's
know.
there's
Yeah.
some that I think you can pedal with your arms, like if you can't use your legs.
I've seen those.
I've
Yeah,
seen
it's
those
like a
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a coal cart.
But since we're not all of us are handicapped, let's get back to so Graham.
Yeah. Sorry, Jeremy. Sorry,
So,
everybody. I don't know what the fuck we're
That
talking
went
about.
weird.
So
got
Graham,
weird.
are you guys going to go forward as a 3-piece? Are you happy with the 3-piece? Are you happy with your
Whoa, froze up
vocals?
for a second.
Are you? Tell us
We
about the future.
We added this other dickhead in on rhythm guitar.
Such a dickhead.
He's a great guy. I shouldn't say that. Now that there are 4 of us, he's the 3rd softest member.
So he's got it.
I
So of
the new guitar player.
the big floppy donkey dicks, he's got the biggest floppy donkey or the softest floppy donkey dick.
I don't know. It's
Maybe
tough.
it's velvety.
Like
Some pretty stiff competition.
oh.
Well,
I need to go back and who is the new guitar player because we missed things were getting a little.
oh yeah. So his name's Joe Nickerson. And he plays in a band called Lich King.
Fucking love
Oh,
Lich
yeah.
King.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that guy.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Oh, wild.
Do you know? Have you ever read that book In the Heart of the Sea?
No.
No.
It's
What's
about
reading?
yeah. Don't read. It's bad. Never. It's a book about the whaling ship that inspired Moby Dick. That got it got rammed by this whale, and then everyone had to eat one another. Yeah, it's a great story.
So it's
I
like
think his
alive, but at sea.
Yeah. I think his ancestor was the cabin boy in that book. So that's a nice little tidbit.
And they had to eat each other.
They had to everyone ate each other except for a few people,
The last
including
guy?
the cabin boy who wrote he wrote like a memoir that was later turned into this book In the Heart of the Sea. And then I think Joe is related. I mean, they share the same last name and they're from the same rough geographical area. So my guess is they're related. So that's kind of
And so
that
they
was
were
one of the
like,
major.
Fuck that! I'm not eating that dude.
Yeah, I think there was some of that conversation, but those tummies were rumbling.
It's just a raw people. Well,
And
I think we should get into the top 20. I got one more question for you, Graham. I'm kind of a gear fanatic. What's the current setup? A, and then B, now that you have a second guitar player, did you kind of have to modify, maybe because you're not filling that huge hole. There's 2 of you now.
Yeah. I play I've been kind of hopping around on different guitars for maybe the last couple years. Right now I play a Charvel. That's
nice.
It's just it's just like a super strat.
Yeah.
It's like one of their made in Mexico. I forget what it's called. I know it's a dinky. It's a dinky.
Okay.
But it's sick. It's got like a really sick neck that's like roasted maple, and so it doesn't go out of whack too much, like with climate changes. And
is it a fixed bridge or?
no, it's got a Godo 510, which it's kind of like it's almost like it's a pretty vintage style bridge, but it's like I forget what they call it. It's like it's a 2-point of contact bridge, and it seems to stay in tune pretty well. The guitar came without a whammy bar because I bought it used, and I haven't actually found a whammy bar for it. So I don't really know too much about the tremolo. I think it works. I think it works well.
Is it stock pickups or what did you end up going with?
I changed them the other day.
You drop tune, right? I mean,
we play in C. Yeah, we play in C standard. Yeah,
C standard. Okay.
And then we so I put in these pickups by I never am sure how to pronounce it, if it's Sure or Sewer, like whatever the, like the Guthrie Govan, or I guess he's not with them anymore, but that guitar company, they make pickups, and I got like one pickup that's kind of it's kind of like a hot rodded PAF type thing, and then another one is like a kind of like a my guess kind of like a Seymour Duncan JB with a little more snot to it, and that's in the bridge.
Okay.
So I got that, and then I played through an amp that's essentially like it's same circuit as like a plexi, or it's trying to be a plexi. I don't know how close it comes to, having never actually played a plexi, but that's what I'm told.
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty meat and potatoes setup for the most part.
No, cool. No, I always wonder, is the other guy using more of a modern amp then, or like is he a Mesa guy, or is there?
Oh, sorry, my internet just took a dump on itself for a second. Were you asking what Joe's
Well,
situation
yeah,
was?
I was just wondering what amp he's playing through. I always kind of like to know how people pair amps up, and I know it's
Yeah.
super boring, so we'll keep it quick. But
Yeah, he I think he went over to the dark side and he got a Kemper, and
oh,
so
did he? Okay, is he playing
Yeah,
a cab, or is he just going through the PA?
yeah, he's playing it through a cab, and then he gutted an old 5150 head he had and like hid the Kemper inside the head.
That's
So
awesome.
it's looking like he's playing a 5150, but it's a Kemper in the back.
What do you think of it?
cool little-
I mean, that's the most juxtaposed two amps. I mean, like a
Yeah.
Plexi and a Kemper.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. That's cool though. You got your individual sounds, but no, thanks, man. I was just curious. So, I
Yeah.
think we should start the top 20, just so people could go to bed at or 4 a.m. in the morning. So who wants to go first?
Okay. So top 20.
In no particular order, like you said.
Okay.
For, for you.
I'm sorry, it's probably not going to be 20 because I'm going to have a hard time recalling all the music. And
Cool.
truthfully, the last few months, I've pretty much been like listening exclusively to Van Halen. So,
Okay.
a lot of Van Halen on there.
That's fine.
Yeah. So maybe let's throw Tombs, Under Sullen Skies in there.
Ooh.
Great record.
Label mates of yours.
Yeah, they are. They are
Do
now.
you wait, whoa. What label are you on? What are you on?
We're on Season of Mist. Season of Mist. I didn't really enunciate.
They've been killing it, man. Like every
Yeah.
Season of Mist is great. Great.
Actually.
Oh,
And
yeah.
isn't it under the same label as Tombs?
No, that's what we just said.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Jeremy,
We're-
stop
we're-
fucking laughing at me.
We are gonna
Don't
run
laugh at
through
you.
quick.
Moving on.
Graham, continue.
I feel like this is an
Alright.
episode of Shit's
Will's
Creek.
looking ready for bed there. Will's looking like he's toasted over there.
No.
Yeah. So,
Is Graham, is Tombs number 20? Are we going backwards? Are you going backwards?
I don't know. I don't think these are in any particular
These are
order.
not in
Yeah.
order.
We are going backwards.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
Grams
Except
are
for
not in any
Graham.
particular
Hey,
Stevie
any
order.
order you
Stevie
want.
Bud, we're going backwards.
Okay. Well, Tombs is on there. Great band. It's a great record. They have another EP that they also came out with this year. Also great. The new Ilsa.
Yeah.
Brutal. Killer. Love it. Today's the Day.
Prior.
Yeah, there you go. Today's the Day. No Good to Anyone. I guess for a second I was like, oh, that came out in 2019, but I do think it came out earlier this year. Great band. Really like that record. We toured with them a few years ago. Really like Steve. Cool to listen to that. What else was there? Godin, I think it's pronounced. I
Oh.
see people say
I-
Godin.
Godin.
Got from?
Not Gotham. No, it's Goden.
Oh
Right?
yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Great record. Necrot.
Yeah.
Great record. Yeah. Where's that put me? How many have I put down thus far?
That's
I was
5
like-
because I'm writing this down.
Okay, 5. Halfway there.
Of course you are.
Always on this podcast. It's ridiculous. You should be here with us every night.
I'm too shy.
What's happening?
No, you're not.
No, I am. You're not the boss of me. Graham.
You're right.
Yeah. The new Pallbearer. Really dug that one a couple times. Mr. Bungle. I took this long canoe trip this summer, or I guess it wasn't the summer. It was in November. A pal and I took a long canoe trip, listened to that record, really enjoyed it. And to be honest, I never was like the biggest Mr. Bungle fan, but I
To me,
enjoyed
but
it.
did you catch the live stream?
No, I didn't. This was like I'm like a Mr. Bungle poser. I know that they have like rabid fans, but
Yeah, get out. Bye.
yeah, I know. The story of my life.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was a great and unexpected record. The new Enslaved, I don't know, that kind of tickles
Your pickle.
Yes.
tickles my pickle, and I thought
Yep.
I kind of grew enslaved, but I don't know, there's something titillating about it, you know?
It's on my list.
Yeah.
Mine
Nice. Yeah. What else is there?
You're at 8, by the way.
I'm
Give
at
us
8.
2 more. 2 more.
Two
We can make it
more.
an even 10.
Okay.
Unless you want to do more. You can do more.
No,
But-
it's funny. It's just, you know, I spent so much of this year listening to music, and it's kind of but I never really get into the, you know, the best of mindset. But I mean, there were a lot of records.
Will going. Will is getting tie. He's getting
Yeah.
tired. He can't do this for much longer.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'd say that's probably my 8. My
It's your top 8.
Yeah. Well, let's hear from Will.
I'll take
Yeah,
it.
good. Will go.
So my holy shit. So I feel like I'm under the gun right now. My top 20. Are we doing top 20?
I think
Do
we can
what you
that
feel.
one. Yeah, do whatever you want. I mean,
what you
that is
feel.
good.
I'm gonna
I
read
mean,
off
you've
my
had
40
practice
really
today.
fast. That's
Yeah, you had 7 hours of it earlier. So just, you know,
Oh, I can
Top
run
10.
through my I can run through my top 20, no problem. Number
Peppers.
20, Ilsa Pryor, Filthy Crust Doom from Washington D.C. Number 19, Ex Genesis, Solve et Coagula, Atmospheric Blackened Death Doom, from Finland on Knockmock production. Number 18, Loud Night. If you do not know Loud Night from Richmond, motherfucking Virginia, you need to know Loud Night. The former guys from Ramming Speed. Get to know these guys.
17.
Mortis Scold.
Hmm.
Suffer for Nothing. Number 16, Necrot Mortal. Number 15, A Pep, The Invocation of the Deathless One. Number 14, Gorphilia, In the Eyes of Nothing. Sorry, this is, I don't have my glasses on. It's hard to read. And do it quickly. Number 14, number 13, Convent, Puritan Masochism. Number 12, Napalm Death, Throes of Joys in the Jaws of Defeatism. Number 11, Wake, Devouring Ruin. Number 10, Of Feather and Bone, Sulfuric Disintegration. And this is where I literally today we had a massive issue because somehow I made Uada Dijen. And I fucking love this album, but it was kind of completely lost on the on my page. Anyway, skip over that. Number 8, Plague, Portraits of the Mind, death metal from Greece. Number 7, Dope Lord, Sign of the Devil, Stoner Doom from Warsaw, Poland. Number 4, Incantation, Sect of Vile Divinities. Number 3, Ulcerate, Stare into Death and Be Still. Number 2, Barishi, Old Smoke. And number 1, Temple of Void, The World That Was.
You skipped 6 and 5
I'm sorry. So
because I'm taking notes.
I love you, Stace.
I want to check
That's
this
awesome.
shit out. Well, I mean, I knew a lot of them.
it's
but
awesome.
I want to check it out.
I'm just not that smart.
Shut up.
my
6 and
number
5.
6. So my number 6 is Vilnius, Sign of Ether. No, I thought.
Yeah, Vilnius. I don't know how to say it either.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Though.
Number 6 is Vilnius, Sign of Ether, and number 5 is Wayfarer of Romance and with Violence. I may have actually skipped those. You're right.
So at 40 is Them, which is like whatever. Okay, we're not talking about it. So Them.
I mean, if you want to say something about something that you're excited about that we don't know, that's fine.
No, it's not Them like the 70s band. It's like Them. They sound like King Diamond. Butcher.
I had a feeling.
Fluisterars, Anel Nathrak, Feminazgul, best name for a band ever. Mama Leak, Imperial Triumphant, Orsanzi Pazuzu, Botanist, Astralborn, and Faraburo, Skeletal Remains, Kaiser, Paradise Lost, Necrot, Hazard, Black Dahlia Murder. By the way, their live stream last night was so amazing. Althar, Ritual Dictates, Venom Prison, Rebel Wizard, Havakrunu, Beggar, Putrescine, Ripped to Shreds, Inferi, Melted Bodies, Refused, Inexorum, The Infernal Sea, The New Health with all those collabs, Second to Sun, Mr. Bungle, Solstice, Terminal Nation, Video Nasties, Napalm Death, Enslaved. Number 2 is the Emma Ruth Rundle Thou collab. And I have to say, I don't like clean singing very much. There's a lot of clean singing on my top 20, which is weird for me. That is like the perfect marriage, Emma Ruth Rundle and Thou. And then my number 1 is Vile Creature. And I have to say, I feel vindicated that they've made so many top albums of the year list, because Mr. like, just go listen to I Hate God when we were doing our top 5 of 2020 so far was like,
I actually talked to them. I talked to them
did?
Today.
They're fucking amazing people.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
They're gonna be on. Well, you're on the podcast anyway, so
they're coming. No, I'm gonna fangirl. No way, I can't come on.
Okay.
Jeez, you need to be here with us.
No, I'm gonna just like be an idiot.
Why?
No, I can't. I'll embarrass myself.
Just don't watch them. I don't watch them. I don't watch.
No.
Yeah, I stopped watching too. But many episodes.
I just show up. I be myself. I look into
Who
things.
am I though, Maggie? Who am I?
Well, you're Stacy.
You're Stacy D.
C. I changed my last name.
Stacy C.
Anyway, that was my top 40.
That's good.
Stacy, you're a badass bitch, and you should be here. All we're doing is talking to people on another screen.
Wait, what?
We're talking to other people on a screen.
Yeah. I'm not good at talking to people. I'm just a teacher. I'm not good at talking to people.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it later.
Listen to them and don't watch them.
Okay. Moving on.
All right.
Moving on.
Whose turn is it?
Well, ladies before,
All right.
I
Let me get my papers in order.
and whatever you have. It doesn't matter. If you don't have 40, if you have 20,
I have 20.
All right,
I have
good.
more than 20, but
do it.
I'm gonna try to do this in order, but really can't. All right, so I have enslaved, and then I have Catatonia, Dead Ear Sessions, and I have Bell Witch and Wilderness, which looks like Wilderness. I don't know if you guys have heard that, but it's really
It's 2 V's, yeah,
fucking
instead
awesome.
of
It's really good. And then I have Nature is the Devil's Church, Voivod, Lost Machine,
it's a live album.
Super Bad, and then Vow with Emma Ruth.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, that Stacy suggested that I would like, and I really did.
Yeah, when you sent me that text,
Did it.
I
Yeah,
sent it over to
was
her.
Really good.
Yeah,
And then-
I do not like singer-songwriters, but that was such a good collab.
That was good.
So good.
It's good. It was totally up my alley.
Yeah.
And then so I have Paradise Lost,
Mhm.
Obsidian. And then I have Over, Flowers of Evil, which is a little bit happy, but
I love it. Yeah, Stacy hated it.
I did. I mean, I'm really particular about my clean singing.
Yeah, it's
Couldn't
a
get
little
into it.
happy, but I really liked it.
It just sounds like Depeche Mode. George loves it,
I
by the way.
agree.
Yeah,
I thought that it had that. So, and then I had Winter Phillips,
Oh,
the following of Air Doom, which had
Stacy hates that one too. I guess they have some like white power ties or some shit.
that really
Yeah, black metal, especially if it's in from Europe.
the
It's like a
sounds of the
No,
first two albums of BA3, 1 and 2.
yeah, no,
It had that thing. Well, that really sucks because I'm not into,
yeah,
Right. We know, Maggie. It's okay.
yeah.
Well, shit. And then I had Emporium and Hacken and The Ocean, and my last one was Paul Bear.
Cool. Jeremy, you want to go next? Yeah,
Sure,
pick
man.
this as well. We just
Will looks like he wants to knock
Get through
the
it.
fuck out.
All right.
Poor Will.
That's awesome. Thank you,
Mhm.
Will, for being
It's a
here.
good time. Mhm.
Will's gonna be asleep before we finish, probably. That's my bet. he's
This is so
looking
good.
like he's almost there.
I'm just
Okay.
so happy that it came on. That's cool.
Sorry,
Mhm.
can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Yeah, I'm
You're good.
super fucking
I-
tired right now.
Dude,
It's
don't
okay,
torture
Will.
yourself. Yeah, like if you gotta,
If you gotta
Got it.
go, man, just
Yeah,
cool.
It's all good.
I am gonna go.
Yeah.
I will just say this. Hey, Graham. Holy
Will.
shit! I mentioned this before. I'm not gonna go
Oh,
through
man.
all 40 albums, but my number 2 is your album. My number 2 for every fucking album of all of 2020, Old Smoke. It is amazing. I'm pretty sure that's why Steve and Maddie asked me on, because they knew
yes.
from my mid-year album list that I love your fucking album. I think it's amazing. It's God, I'm trying to
Awesome.
explain to somebody who actually wrote the music, and I feel like a fucktard for even trying to explain
Don't feel
music,
like
but I feel like it's a more aggressive, compelling Inner Arma right now. If you have ever somewhat thought about yourselves in the same vein as Inner Arma, I think you are, and I think your Old Smoke is just obliterating whatever is left of the Inner Arma album.
It
I
is
love
an
it.
awesome album. And
Well,
Mhm.
thank you.
the
I love.
videos that were released this year are really good.
Well,
too.
I think Will's just saying his farewells. He wants to go to bed, man.
Yeah,
Go to bed,
I
Will.
do. Like,
Let
I'm
the
not
man
gonna do
sing,
my
people.
40 albums. Like, I can sit here and rattle them off, but like, I'm fucking
Well,
tired. I've been
I-
podcasting for like 9 hours now.
if you want to hear it, listen to MetalHeads podcast. It's an excellent podcast. Everybody on that show are incredible guys. I appreciate that you came on. And we'll keep in touch too, because we
Yeah.
have some other artists that I know you like quite a bit. Coming on within the next 6 to 7 weeks. So
Grant, it was an absolute pleasure to talk to you.
Will,
I
right back at you.
love Barishi. I love your music. I know the new Barishi is mostly you. So I'm your humble servant of spreading the word. I guess this is the best. I don't know what the best way to say it is.
Thank
Like
you.
it.
you
man.
are extremely proactive with spreading the word of Barishi for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bless you. Bless you. Thank you, Will. You're a professor of madness.
Thank you. That's the best
Professor
compliment I got
Madden.
all day.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll text you tomorrow.
Yeah. Send me a message,
Thank you
man.
for coming on after what you did marathon wise with podcasts. That's awesome.
That is stamina.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us,
Yeah.
Will.
Yeah, I'm gonna go have one more beer.
Go to bed. Will, go to bed.
Drink some
Good
water with that
night.
beer.
I
or
love
something,
all.
maybe.
I seriously,
Mhm.
Graham, you have no idea how much Barishi was my number 2 album of the entire year. I love Barishi. I love you. I love everything you're doing in Battle Beer, Vermont. I love Dylan. I love John. They're better looking than you. Sorry.
Dude, he has really nice hair.
Steve and Maggie, thank you so much.
Love you, Will.
Yeah, dude. Just thank you so much. Jeremy, thank you for being the silent partner that keeps them on track. Though I was
We're not on track.
I was ready
Really
for
is.
the shit show, and this is like a calm shit show. And Stacy, we will get married someday. I love you.
It was nice to meet you, Will. I'll meet you. Beer Fest, right?
Yes.
Yes, I will see
When
you
this
there.
is all over, we'll go and see Barishi at your brewery. We'll take the
Yes.
Yes,
Bri-
I'm looking forward.
marry
I am
you.
Yeah,
so
I
starved.
cannot wait till you guys play Atlas again. It will
Same
be
here.
phenomenal.
Same here.
trip. And we'll have the future product of Jeremy and Stacy and these band that has never played together open.
I didn't even
Fuck
know we
yeah.
were in a band.
Hopefully,
This
I'll
is
get in
news
more
to me. I
practice
just found out
before
tonight.
then.
Yeah.
They'll be good.
yeah.
Oh, Jeremy, you
We're-
just found out. Yeah, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
I didn't know. I had no idea.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
cool.
so embarrassing.
You guys are in a trifecta band now.
Well, well, you might appreciate this, but in appreciation of me growing up a Jehovah's Witness kid, I propose that we name it the Jehovah's. Jehovah's.
Jeremy, I feel like there's so much you didn't know.
Yeah.
Hey, you knew then.
Hey, make it work. I love it. I make it work.
All right, brother.
You knew it was gonna be.
All right.
called
Hey,
Jehovah's.
hey, Graham. Seriously, huge fucking honor to meet you and talk to you. Your album was my number 2 album the entire year. I said a million times. It's a pleasure. Keep it up. Just fucking keep it up.
Thanks,
This is
Will.
how I would do
you
if
keep
I
it
met
up,
Bon
too.
Jovi.
Well,
Good night.
yeah, cuddle up and go to sleep. Good night.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, Graham.
Hi.
I think Will really liked your album.
I don't think so. I don't think it was in the top.
I think it was his number 2 album of the year.
I don't think so. I
Did
don't
you-
think
Oh,
so.
that was good.
Did you hear that he said it was number 2 on his list?
Wait, on his year of all the albums of 2020?
You know, it reminded him of Inner Arma,
Yeah, I mean,
Which,
that's
sure.
I'm flattered.
which is good. No, that
No,
is
they're
super
great.
cool.
Great
Yeah,
band.
I've never seen him live, Stacy. I know you have because
I don't think I've seen an Arma actually.
Oh, we Oh, you didn't go to that show. No, you asked me if I wanted to. Yeah. Anyway.
Into Under Armour? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh no, they didn't play. I think it got canceled. No, it was the Deaf Heaven in Aurora. No, I really wanted to go. Holy shit. I was like calling that venue. Like, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Is it sold out? Why can't I get these tickets?
Outside smoking for Deaf Heaven.
Fuck you. They're so good. You're just old. You're just old.
Yeah, old.
Fuck off.
I'm younger than you.
Like by months.
Yeah.
And in
Still an old
boy
man,
years,
Steve.
you're like
born in
12.
June.
Yep. Stacy
I'm May.
Devoni.
Maggie. Yeah, no. My middle name is after my grandma. Poor Can we not talk? Graham, hi.
I know. All right.
Oh God.
All right, Graham. Sorry you had to deal with this. This is a lot different than the interview because right before this I watched the the cool dad with his son from like Norway and he's got the gray beard.
What?
Like he just did an interview like I don't know last month with shaved head.
Oh,
beard.
yeah. Pedro. Yeah.
But I did give you a heads up that it wasn't going to be like what was the best concert you ever played?
No, this is I like this.
What do you think about COVID?
Yeah. No, this is a nice little curveball.
Cool.
You know
what? So let me really quickly tell you about when Mike came on, Mike Hill. So I stayed up to like 4 a.m. I was on like a little vacation and I was drinking a bunch of whiskey and having some beers and just listening to shit in my basement, playing guitar, writing stuff. I went to bed at almost 5 o'clock in the morning and I woke up and I'm like, before I went to bed, Mike, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at, 9, he's Eastern time like you. He's like, I'll see you in a few hours. So I'm like, holy fuck, he meant AM. Like I haven't slept yet. So luckily I have ADD, so they give me Ritalin. So I took one of those bad boys. And then I ran to the liquor store and got like a little bottle of vodka and just like dumped it in a Gatorade. And just went with it.
Maggie.
So, I was so excited for this interview, man. Like I love Tombs. And since the first album, and I got Mike Hill to say yes. And I was a fucking disaster. So I didn't. It wasn't my A game. Like,
yeah. He was a good sport about it, though. I'm sure, right?
He's so fucking cool, man.
Dude,
like,
I know. I love that guy.
Yeah, I think he's like the next generation of like Henry Rollins. Like just the way you know what I mean? Like he's
I hear that.
Totally in that. No, and he loves like amazing music. Like everything he suggests, I'm like, I haven't heard that. I am absolutely gonna check it out. So
and he knows so much. He's just he's like this reservoir encyclopedia of great stuff.
Yeah,
awesome.
Like the most obscure records that he
encyclopedia of metal and music and underground and sludge and all of that. This dude is retarded. Just all of, I swear to God, I've never known anybody in my life that just has like a metal encyclopedia of everything, even stuff he doesn't like, shit he doesn't like.
Yeah, it's not a great skill, like in the job market. It doesn't,
He is just like a retarded, super intelligent.
Speaking of shit Steve doesn't like, I have my top 40 albums.
Yeah, let's hear it, Jarrett.
It.
Steve, you haven't gone yet either.
Thank you.
I've seen both of these because I got to
Thank
see
you.
your playlist. But yeah,
Mine's
let's do it for the
changed
sake of the
slightly, but
podcast.
not much.
Has it?
Well, I
Slightly.
It's so hard to commit. It's hard to
well,
commit.
I had a change at the top, kind of.
Oh,
Well,
it's hard.
I forgot an album, and I had to move an album that was a little further down that I listened to a little more, and they're going to be on the show. So I'm also gonna
You're gonna
we'll
change
bring
it
up-
up.
Graham, I just
No.
Steve got me into you about a week ago, and I just heard Old Smoke for the first time, so I bumped 16 off my list to get you on there. 'Cause
Oh no!
I really enjoy that album quite a
It
bit,
is a
but I
good
have
one.
not. I've like, I mean,
It is
it's really fresh to me. Like I've listened to it a couple times, and to me, I mean, it reminds me of Tombs a lot. Like a lot of different influences going into Under Sullen Skies. Like, you know, like there's parts that are kind of black metal or whatever, but yeah, it's just a great album.
Thanks, man.
But anyway, I'll read that when it's like in there, whatever. So I just wanted to give you props too. I definitely enjoyed that quite a bit, and yeah, even the one that you hated, the last album, is also really good too.
Well, thanks a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, so my top 40, Major Kong or Stoner Rock from I don't know where they're from, but Major Kong, Off the Scale, Sharptooth, Transitional Forms, Psychonaut, Unfold the Godman, Obsidian Kingdom, Meat Machine, Radiant Knife, The Body, End, Splinters from an Ever-Changing Face, Raging Speedhorn, Hard to Kill, Hyborian Volume 2, Daughter Chaos, self-titled album, Daughter Chaos, Barishi, Old Smoke, Brickville, Quell, Cellosis, Cycle of Suffering, Stonebirds, Collapse and Fail. You'll love this band name again. Asian Death Crustacean, Baikal, whatever. Convent. That's all female death doom band, so
Yeah.
they're pretty awesome.
They are
Yeah,
good.
it's a good album.
Hackin' Virus, Old Man Gloom, Seminar 9, the new Svalbard, Elder Omens, Mortiscold, Suffer for Nothing. The new Igor album is, I think, number 20. Video Nasties, Stacy, I know you like them as well. Really good doom band, Him, Breach Us, like that album quite a bit. Au Trenoir, which is French post-metal, really good shit. Spook the Horses, who I think we talked about a couple episodes ago. More post-metal. Post-metal was like super huge for me this year. Intronaut, Fluid Existential Inversions, Neander, Aramid, which is more post-metal. Worship, Tunnels, Tombs, Under Sullen Skies, Blood from the Soul, and the new Zombie, the new Napalm Death, Rebel Wizard.
Shit, I forgot about the Zombie album.
Yes, the Zombie album. The sludge band from, where are they? Sweden? Norway? Somewhere. Demonic Death Judge. Huntsman, Chicago band. Gotta love them. The new Mr. Bungle. The new, I don't know how to say it. Helvik.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
The singer
Erland.
from Kvelertak.
Yeah,
The
former.
singer from Kvelertak, yes. I love that. I actually like that a lot better than to do Kvelertak, but
Yeah, such a disappointment.
I mean, it's good, but I just think that this is more metal still. Junior Bruce, who is hopefully going to be on soon.
Yeah.
And this is the change. I don't have Cloud Kicker as my number one. I really loved the new Cloud Kicker album. Thought it was great. But Nug is my favorite album of the year now. Nug. Alter Ego, that post metal shit.
I think on their website, yeah, it's Nog.
Yeah, man, I cannot stop listening to that album. So that's number one now, man.
All right, so I guess it's down to me, right? All right, so I'm gonna run through top 40 real quick. Um, all right, so I got Elder, Ulata, Demons and Wizards. I love that shit. Um, Paul Bear, Mortis Scald, who was on the show a couple weeks ago. Ulcerate, High Spirits. I put Catatonia, Wilderness. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Achilles.
Achilles.
Okay.
I think it's Achilles.
That's a dark album. Like
Mhm.
that shit's pretty dark.
Yeah.
Anal Nathrak, My Dying Bride, Megaton Sword. I got let's see, Venom Prison,
So
Bismarck. Yeah, it's good. The Bismarck album is super sick. Like if you're into the AMRAP type stuff, it's pretty brutal. Mr. Bungle only got 23, which is I guess kind of weird for me, but Rosenblatt.
Hmm.
Let's see, Vile Creature. Dude, I'm a sucker for Blood, like that kind of like hardcore. Like Ramallah. I don't know if you guys are into them, but I listen to that constantly. Imperial Triumphant. I got a Ronzi Pazuzu. Paradise Lost. 16, I got Enslaved. 15, the new Sodom album is badass.
It's good.
It's badass. I love it. 14, I know you had this on your Instagram. Today's the day.
Yeah.
Anything Steve Austin does, I'm all about it.
The man.
Oh my gosh.
What the hell are you doing? Oh, you all right? We good?
Yeah.
Okay. It was an EP, so I know it doesn't really count, but I don't care. I put the Runes of Beverest album. Let's see, I got Kevel. All right, so this is where I'll just kind of plug a little bit. Kevel's going to be on the show. We got Napalm Death, Nog. They're going to be on the show in the next couple months here.
Nice.
God Thrum, they're going to be on the show. Kaiser, yeah, they're going to be on the show. Macabre, I'm looking forward to talking to them. I've played 3 or 4 shows with Macabre over the years. Temple of Void, I don't know if you guys are fans, but
It was a good album. It was.
And I think what's happening with them, it's like the HM2 kind of, Swedish model, but they're doing a little more like incantation, immolation, kind of like layers on top. 16, I put on. That new album is sick. Wayfair is number 4. Barishi is number 3. My number 2 took me by surprise, and it wasn't that it was anything really different, but it reminded me of like early like Privilege of Evil, like amorphous kind of stuff, and it just had this blackened kind of. Anyway, number 2, Serpent's Oath. I fucking love that album, and they're gonna also be on the show. And number 1, I'm just gonna do EP and full-length album in one, but at no surprise, Tombs. I don't even know what happened on this album, but like their first single, it's like John Christ wrote it and Lemmy was singing like it. It's just I don't know. It's fucking badass. It's everything I like. So that's my 40. That's all 40 of them.
Nice.
Sorry, it was only number 3. Like I said, before this year, to be honest with you, I never even heard Serpent Oath, but I don't know. It just got that aesthetic I like. Like if Rotting Christ was playing Deicide. I don't know if that makes sense. Like it's
Well, it does make sense. Actually, it makes quite a bit of sense.
well, good. Well, it's just dark, and they're from Greece, and I'll tell you right now, I think we're talking about it briefly, Graham. It's like people are saying, yeah, coming on the podcast, but now it's like the time zone thing is fucking bananas.
Yeah, it's very.
I'll be like, yeah, let's do it at 9:30, and they're like, all about it, and then an hour later they'll be like, oh, that's 4:30 in the morning for me. So it's just trying to figure it all out, but it's cool, man. I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was cool having you.
You're a
on the
super nice
podcast.
guy, Graham.
Yeah.
Oh
very
yeah,
nice.
thank you. It was nice meeting all of you.
Yeah,
Seems
and
good thing going on.
when everything comes back to normal, we'll communicate, and we'll meet you at the show and have a drink together.
Sick. I'll look forward to that.
I'll buy you some whiskey.
Sick. I love whiskey.
Me
What's
too.
that shitty
Cheers.
whiskey? Like it looks like Jack Daniels, but Zachariah Harris.
Zachariah Harris.
Yeah, well,
Zachariah Harris. Okay.
Yeah, it's garbage. I won't pretend it's Jack, but
It's not good. It looks like Jack. Yeah.
well, this has been a more fun that I've had in a long time. So I appreciate Stacy coming out, Jeremy as always, Maggie, Will. I hope he made it to his bed. And
I'm sure
I
he will. Thank you, Graham.
yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Super nice hanging out.
Sorry we got notebooks all over the place, but
This is a treat. Oh, thanks,
cool, man.
Jeremy. Dude, I just got an email. You bought a shirt. That's so nice.
There's
Aw.
Nice.
like only one left. I'm like, I'm buying it now. Then there's only one left.
Hey,
I'll,
was that on the on the label page or?
On Bandcamp. If it was on
I think
Bandcamp.
that was just through our Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Oh, so you
pop
get
that
you get
into the
alerts
mail for
if
you,
people
Jeremy.
buy stuff. Yeah, I you know what? Real quick, I never got an alert on Bandcamp because nobody's ever bought anything of mine. But
Dude, I'll buy something right here.
I was looking through Bandcamp and I had 3 of my old demo tapes on somebody else's Bandcamp and they sold out of them. I'm like, who the fuck would sell this? One, who would buy it? So I want my $2.
Yeah.
My $2.
Yeah. Those $2 are yours.
It's your responsibility, Graham.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you some weird ROM shit. My old band. I think you'd find it.
We're gonna go there.
No, we're not going there. But
I'll look forward to it, man.
yeah, I don't know. It's just fucking stupid. You might like it. But,
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I sent it to Mike from Jooms. He didn't give it back to me. We just went in a different conversation altogether.
Yeah.
But all right, man. Well, hey, it's good meeting people. The whole point of this show is really to make friends while we have time to, and just appreciate people that we really think are doing something cool. But for the audience and all 6 to 8 of you, thank you for tuning in to Dead Letter Emissions. I know we have a pretty exciting lineup over the next couple months. So, tune in. And thanks to Jeremy, they'll actually come out. I have nothing to do with it.
Jeremy, you're a real bit.
Yeah, you're great. Stacy, thanks for joining.
Stacy,
Had fun.
Dave.
All right, cool. Graham,
Bye. Thank
care,
you.
man.
Bye, Graham.
you.
Take care.
Bye.
Nice to meet
You
you.
too. Nice to meet you.
I don't know why I got a cotton mouth. That's